The desire to go fast is what keeps most people stuck. Real progress starts when you slow down and build the foundation. So we are back after 1 full week of the Driven series, and I wanted to give you all a brief update. I'm going to do updates each and every video to take you along my progress, but I also want you to comment down below one thing that challenged you this past week as you were working on your goals. This week was really fun for me, if I'm being honest, to really take it slow and prioritize getting back into strength training. I completed the first full week of Forever Fit on the Grounds app, which is my program over there, 5-day lifting split, and it has 3 lower body days. And that is something that I haven't done in a really long time. In this entire year, I have not been training lower body in that high of a quantity. So that in itself I knew would be challenging this week in terms of maybe a little uptick in appetite, in terms of just recovery and soreness and how it was all gonna feel. I am someone that still has to check my ego to this day. It's hard for me to pull back, and I mean that in a number of ways. So it was challenging for me as someone who, you know, it's just ingrained in me, all the things that I have done over the years with bodybuilding and just some extremes that come along with that. For me to say, I'm going to take 1 full week of just getting my lifts in and just starting tracking, it almost feels like, I'm not doing enough. And we can all get so eager and fired up and motivated when we first start out on our goals, especially when we declare them to the world, like I do here for this series. It always feels weird to me to check in and be like, hey, no physical progress for you. But I also think it's really important to showcase what it really requires, what it really takes to do these things the right way. And it's not always flashy and sexy. And I have to remind myself of that. You know, yeah, I'm doing a series, but I have to do what's best for me. And it's hard to not just go from 0 to 100 and go all in on whatever it's going to take to produce the biggest physical transformation, because that's not necessarily my journey anymore. Not that I don't want a physical transformation, but I want to do it the right way. So that is what I'm showing you. And it was hard though for me to think about, okay, I know I need to do 3 leg workouts this week, so I'm not going to give it my all. And hang on a second before you attack me for it. What I mean by that is just honoring my body and understanding that I think I'm good now. I'm 3 weeks post-marathon, but I was just honoring the fact that last week I was still in this transition phase. And for me to just go all in and try to lift as heavy as possible, it doesn't make sense. It's not like I'm starting as a beginner, but I have to start smart, and you have to build from somewhere. It's just like when I take on a weight loss client. If you come to me and you're only eating 1,000 calories and you're doing cardio 5 days a week, where do we have to go from there? So starting slow and really having that great base, laying that great foundation is only gonna make a deficit phase that much better, that much easier, and produce better results. And that's exactly what I'm showcasing here on the Driven series. But I have to remind myself of this too. So even though I'm gonna do a check-in for the week for you, no changes are really going to be seen here. My weight just kind of fluctuated up and down about 2 pounds, which I would say is normal for me. I'm kind of like in that normal maintenance spot for me. It's been between like 112, 113. That's pretty much where I've been maintaining all of 2025. And this week, it felt good to get back into tracking macros. I will admit that. It felt good to see what I was doing, to see it add up at the end of the day, to know what I was putting into my body, to really be able to look at that snapshot. And now I wasn't setting any set macros I had to hit. I do have it calculated for myself in Grounds app. So I'll talk about how I'm proceeding this next week to kind of keep things moving forward. But for me, it was just locking down that habit, that consistency of tracking again, because I hadn't in so long. So to get 1 week under my belt of lifting and of tracking, I think is great. I think that's great progress. I don't think I should shit on myself for doing things slow and steady, because that's exactly what I would tell you all to do. So why am I not holding myself to that same standard? So that was a little bit of my mental battle with just kind of still having ingrained in me, the old bodybuilding preps that I would do and showcasing how quickly things would change and how little I was eating. Well, that's just not where I'm at in my life anymore. So I did a good job at keeping track of everything all week long. I got in a really nice flow with it and did my daily weigh-ins. It was my Ant Flow week, so we're through that now. So I'm really excited to have a good week where hormones are a bit more leveled out. Hopefully everything levels out a bit more this week. That's the biggest thing. My goal this week and probably most weeks isn't going to be about perfection. It's going to be about consistency, especially in the beginning. And that's what I urge you to do as well. Quit focusing on some perfection that does not exist and focus on consistency. And this is what I talk about to my inner circle clients all the time, is that consistency, what people think it looks like, is just checking the box perfect in every category every single day. And consistency really is not that. Consistency is just showing up for yourself. And some days, some of those boxes may be left unchecked. And you have to be okay with knowing that and kind of setting those limits for yourself for what are your bare minimums for what you need to do for yourself this week. So that is why, in order to keep myself feeling mentally successful this past week, I didn't lock myself down into too many standards. I didn't set a cardio goal or a macro goal or any of that yet. So that was week 1. If you can't do 1 week where you can just get consistent with macro tracking and with workouts, then why are you setting yourself up to fail with all these other goals? You have to ask yourself why. You're truly putting yourself in a position to feel like a failure. So quit chasing those quick results and set yourself up with some smaller milestone goals. And don't build on those until you've actually really ingrained those habits. Overall, I would say this week, that was a big physical and mental win for me, was just accepting and being okay with those goals I set for myself. Even though they're not crazy goals, extreme, just knowing that that's what I've set for myself. And at the end of the week, I could sit here and say, you know what? I did exactly what I set out to do this past week. So there's no need to feel bad about anything. Now, moving forward into this next week, into week 2, I am going to continue Forever Fit. That is going to stay stable. It's a 6-week program. Now, in Grounds app, there is a TDEE calculator. What that is your total daily energy expenditure that you can calculate for yourself. You can also then use that to calculate your macronutrients in the app. So I have my macros calculated out. In this past week, while tracking, I didn't try to hit a set number. Like I said, protein, I always do try to hit. I'm someone that tries to hit at least 120 grams of protein a day, and I was successful with that every day. It's super easy for me. But now moving into this week, in addition to just tracking macros, now I want to actually attempt to hit some targets. And with hitting targets, I think this can be very tricky for a lot of people, especially if you don't pre-plan. I am not in a position where I really want to pre-plan if I don't have to, because I do have a lot of staple meals that I incorporate. So there is a lot of repetition. So I don't really find it super challenging to hit set targets. But one thing I am going to do is have a little bit of a range with my macros this week as I am tracking. I'm going to have a calorie goal, I'm going to have a carb goal, protein, and fat. Those are the 4 things I'm going to look at. And there could be some variability there, but ultimately I want to keep my calories roughly about the same range, if you will. So even if macros are a little higher in carbs but lower in fat, as long as my calories are roughly the same, this week I'm going to be aiming for consistency with that overall calorie goal. If I can get close to the macros, perfect. I am pretty good about that with my current setup that I have in here. It's not too far off what I've been doing this past week. Just naturally, I've noticed day to day, I eat roughly about anywhere between 1,600 to 2,000 calories. So that's quite variable for someone of my stature to have about 400 calorie variation. Now, I think with just locking down the calories closer to just a stable daily goal, I could potentially see some changes this week. I'm not sure, but I'm not going any further than that. That is my goal for the week, is just to be more consistent with the actual targets and hit closer targets, pay attention to the targets. In addition, last week was probably the lowest activity week I've had in terms of movement. The lifts was great. Other than that, my cardio was absolute junk. I didn't force myself to get those steps in. I didn't force myself to do a bunch of cardio. It was just rainy here. It could sound like an excuse, but for me, that just wasn't the goal. So in my mind, I'm like, it's not the goal. Focus on recovery. Focus on the other things that you need to do this week. So for this week, I do want to get back into my cardio game. You will see I did get in a 10-mile bike ride. So between bike riding, running, and walking, those are going to be my 3 main cardio choices. Ideally outside if the weather can cooperate. If not, I'll get it done either way. But I do want to be more mindful of my steps this week. Last week was brutal. Some days I was like 3,000 steps. So it just wasn't a super active week in terms of cardio. I like to get my cardio locked in place before I start dipping down on macros, because I do enjoy cardio. It's good for the body. That increases your overall energy output. So it does play into the factor of how many calories you need to eat to produce results. So that is going to be my focus for this week. And I'm excited to keep things going. I'm eager, and I'm also trying to remind myself of the quote I said at the very beginning. You know, this isn't a race. I don't have to rush. So we're going to take our time and do things right and, you know, do it good. One more thing I want to mention before I forget, because this just happened effective yesterday, and that is, if you are not already a Grounds app user, you can now sign up for an annual membership, enter in Kara when you purchase that membership, and you will get 20% off the annual membership. So I just want to mention that because yes, there will be lots of mentions of Grounds app throughout this program, throughout this series, because that's what I'm using for my workouts, for my meal tracker, for my period tracker, for my journal to take notes about week to week how things are going, for my water tracker. It's a one-stop shop for everything in an app. I don't know how long this promo is gonna last for. I asked, I don't know. I'm not saying that to fearmonger you in, but I do wanna make you aware that if you are kind of like interested, there is a free 7-day trial that you can do. My link is down in the description box. But in addition, if you choose to sign up for the year with my name, you will get that 20% off. So if you guys do a free trial and you have any questions at all, please reach out to me and let me know, because I feel like I am someone that signs up for a lot of apps and then I forget to use them and or get locked down in them. And I'm like, what is this all about? Someone explain it to me. So having a physical person help you navigate it, I think can just better assist you to know whether it's worth it for you or not. I mean, honestly, if you're like, I'm not going to use it, then definitely don't continue. But if you have questions, I am just happy to help you guys with that. Yeah, I wanted to mention that before I forgot. First things first, I just got back from a 10-mile bike ride and nothing sounded better than a refreshing lemonade. But I have to tell you, I love like Chick-fil-A diet lemonade, but Jason's got me all spooked on drinking out of fountain beverages because he sent me some things about the fountain drinks and what's contained in them, and now I've got the ick. So at home lemonade honestly tastes really good, really easy. All I did was fill up about 16 ounces of water, some lemon juice. We buy it in just a bottle, organic lemon juice, 2 tablespoons, 4 stevias. It's not overly sweet and it's super refreshing. So I think I'm gonna be having some more lemonades this summer. I mean, Lemon Crush Hydration from Ghost would be really good in that, but I was trying to make it without it just because we go through Ghost Lemon Crush Hydration so quick in this household, which while I'm thinking of it, you guys, something big is coming from Ghost this month, like a lot of good shiz. coming soon. It's coming very freaking soon though. Can't wait to talk more about it. All right, I wanted to share with you, I'm probably gonna share a recipe in every single vlog. Maybe I'll do a full day of eating. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that. But this is my obsession meal. I think I declared it on Instagram maybe 2 months ago now, and I'm still having it. I've updated just a couple things, so I wanted to share it in the video. I've got everything chopped up. In my head, I'm thinking, I love vegetables, but I don't eat enough fresh, raw veggies. I do cooked veggies, great, but we are in the summertime now, so fresh salads just do something for me. Big ass salad season. First thing you need is a big old Tupperware or just a huge ass bowl in some type of lid or something to cover it so you can shake up your salad, because that's a critical step in making the salad taste titties, okay? So I've got everything chopped up because it's really boring to watch someone chop stuff up. I'm not actually gonna weigh out my romaine lettuce, but what I do is I get these organic romaine lettuce hearts. I usually use one whole one. Sometimes I'll do 2 depending on the size of it, but I just chop that up real good. Sure, you can use whatever lettuce you want, but there's something about fresh romaine that's just really crispy, fresh, and delicious, so I love that. For veggies, I do like one of these little mini cucumbers. You could do, again, you can do whatever you want. We're basically making like a chicken sesame salad. I'm gonna do a mini cucumber in there. I'm gonna do half of a yellow bell pepper. I am gonna weigh out my carrots. The beautiful thing about this salad, because I know sometimes it can feel a little daunting, like, oh, I have to add so much stuff to my FitnessPal or Grounds app, whatever you use as a meal tracker. I use Grounds app. In Grounds app, you can put everything in and save a recipe. You can also favorite your foods. So now that I've got a full week of consistent tracking under my belt, it's super simple and easy. So if you're sitting there saying tracking things like this is too hard, that's a lie. You're telling yourself to stay comfortable. It's not that hard. Change your language, change the way you do it. There's always simple ways around it. So, okay, that's what I thought. 2.5 ounces of carrots. I just wanted to fact check myself there. What else am I gonna add next? We'll add the chicken. So for the chicken, you can do it real easy and maybe just buy rotisserie if you're in a pinch. Jason always makes us slow cooked chicken in the slow cooker. Thank you for that, babe. And I like cold chicken on the salad. I'm gonna do 2.5 ounces because it looks like that'll give us like 2.5 ounces left. Wouldn't you say, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanna make sure there's like an equal serving left. I'm telling you this, I make this exact way every single time. It's so good. So chicken's there.
I usually do 3 ounces.
I usually do 3 ounces of chicken, yeah. I just didn't want to leave us with a weird amount. Usually do half an avocado, which I like near my chicken. That might sound silly, but when you shake it up, it kind of sticks to the chicken. That's about 50 grams. That's correct. Okay, next. I do have to just wash the avocado off my fingers. Next, I switched from the little wonton noodles to the strips. Game changer. The ingredients on these are better. There's not as much junk in them, to be honest with you. I think, I wanna say there's hydrogenated oils in the noodles. These aren't as bad macro-wise. I usually do a couple servings of these because I love a crunch. It's like 14, 15 grams. I need another bag of these pretty soon. I don't think I've ever ate a meal as consistently as I've ate this meal. Wouldn't you say, Jay? That I make myself.
I say no.
That I make myself.
Yes.
Right? Bingo. Okay, I've got some sliced almonds here, so I'm gonna add 2 servings of sliced almonds, which is about like 15 grams as well. 12 grams, that's perf. That works for me. Okay, other keys, garlic sea salt. You wouldn't think you needed additional sodium on the salad because we're doing coconut aminos. It's game changing, especially with the chicken. It's fine. I add a couple good ass cranks of that. Next, I am gonna measure. This is the game changer for me too. It's the panira dressing. You could make it yourself, certainly. The panira dressing actually has really good ingredients on it. It's not bad. So it's Asian sesame, And 2 tablespoons of this is only 50 calories, 4.5 grams of fat, 3 carbs. I do 2 servings of this. Do you want to see it up close? Couldn't tell if you were trying to show it. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna measure out about 60 grams of this, thinking about how much salad I have underneath there. I'm just being realistic. I'm not a dry ass salad kind of girl. I'm like a two serving salad dressing kind of girl. It's 52 grams, 59, perfect. Okay, next step, last step, best step, coconut aminos. I just kind of drizzle it, all right? There's no set amount. I drizzle it on. Cheers. And that's it. That's everything I put on the salad. It looks delicious. My mouth gets salivating, but here's the last step, the most critical, the good old Kardashian salad shake.
Do you get a thumbnail first?
A thumbnail with the salad? Okay. All right, this step. It makes a difference if you can shake your salad, you know? Get all the flavors mixed in, unless you don't like your stuff all mixed in. I do. You mix it to the side, then you mix it up and down. And then you mix it to the side, and then you mix it up and down. You give it a really good shakety shake, and then you're done. You open it up. Voila. I'm gonna grab a fork. Then I just kind of move things around even more just to get it all dressed up. And this is just, it does it for me. I love it. I love that I get in heart healthy fats, I get in protein, I get in loads of veggies with this salad. It takes me a while to eat it, so it's a little annoying if I'm crunching on my salad at 9 o'clock at night. But it's so good. I love this. So I'm gonna keep this in the routine. I might find another salad to kind of alternate in here so I don't get bored. But this is my go-to. Highly suggest you guys try it. I'm gonna go watch season 11 of Alone. We're on a little belated birthday adventure for Jason because the weather was crappy for his birthday. So we drove to this amazing little secret spot with the dogs. This is what Jason wanted to do for his birthday, is just have a family outing because we haven't done this in a while. So the dogs are having a blast. It's truly the perfect day out, right, babe?
It is. It's amazing.
It's so peaceful out here, too. The water's beautiful.
Listen. Just hear birds.
Nothing makes my soul feel more whole than just being outside in nature and just having the peace like this. On a Tuesday afternoon, I will never take this life for granted. We got a little training session done at home this morning just to save time. Look how muddy JJ's little feet are. He's gonna be so tired between catching all the sticks in the water, which is super cold. The water it's Lake Ontario. It's probably never warm at all, but definitely not this early in May. And they haven't had an outing like this in a while, so they're gonna be dead tired. It's gonna be nice. This is like Justice and Bruce in a nutshell. Justice looking all wild and Bruce like, bro, what are you doing? Before we close out this video, I want to ask you, are you also rushing your results versus just trying to master consistency? Going back to the beginning, I'm guilty of this myself as well, where I just want to hurry up and rush the progress and see the results and share the results. But it's so, so important to hone in on your own consistency. And it doesn't matter if you're joining me in this program focusing on fat loss, focusing on getting better sleep, focusing on getting strong. You can master and really hone in on consistency in each of those areas. So Randy Guzzi 430, you wanted to track your macros, focus on lower body and core strength. How is that going for you this past week? Those are some big goals, right? Jess Kaplan wants to focus on her protein intake, water, and sleep. We also have some more nutrition-focused habits here. Myra 5005 wants to lose 15 pounds and maintain a milk supply because she's only 3 months postpartum. It's quite a balance for you, right? We have Fiddlestick Maker wanting to just adjust food and routines due to some recent changes in her life. Olivia Rose 7447 wants to grow the glutes, down 46 pounds so far. Congrats, girl. That is incredible. And it can be really hard once you've started to see progress or you've seen progress in your past fitness journeys and just want to hurry up and get back there. I relate to that so hard, but we have to kind of ground ourselves, center ourselves, and remember that stuff does not change overnight, especially when we're doing it the right way. It's exactly what this program is here for. So I want you to also comment below. I know I told them to comment below at the beginning of the video, so should I not do that again? So with that in mind, I want you to comment below one thing you're gonna hone in on this upcoming week in effort to remain consistency. I want you to comment below one thing you are gonna hone in on to help reach your goals that you really wanna get consistent with this upcoming week. Remembering consistency does not have to equate to perfection. So drop it down below what you're working on this week. I'm gonna be checking in on you, friends, and we will have more videos to come as part of this Driven series. So thank you for joining along. Until the next one, stay driven.